Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our weekly live broadcast presented to you by Varanormal. I'm your host, Keith Clark. Each week, we take a look at paranormal history and technology and research communication. We conduct experiments, and we work with them, and we give you the information behind those experiments, and we share them with you so that you may have your own paranormal experiments. Our website is varanormal.com. It's spelled with a V as in vary, and the word actually means to be normal. So for all of you out there that believe that there's something more to the paranormal than what is commonly expressed, if you have a feeling that there is energy in our universe and that we can tap into that energy, then we are here for you. Varanormal is an online community of experimenters and researchers from around the world. We have the pleasure of providing the world's largest collection of live paranormal streams. All of our streams are live. When you listen to them on our website or on YouTube, they're always live. We never play a recording. We never add human voice. Everything you see and hear is always live. Our goal as a team and online community is to explore the mysteries of the universe we live in, and to understand the subtle energies involved in communicating with non-physical personalities. By working together, we can find new discoveries that will change the way the world thinks about energy. We do this by experimenting in the field known as instrumental transcommunication, or in short, ITC. Today we're going to take a look at Perlin noise. And we're going to show you 3 different ways to conduct your own experiments from your own phone, your own mobile device, your own laptop, your own desktop, and we're going to show you how to take pictures. The first will be from our website, varanormal.com, and I would like to give you a little bit of the history and story behind that. ITC has been around, or at least it began with EVP, or electronic voice phenomena, officially around 1953, when electronic voice phenomena was discovered by Friedrich Jurgensen. From there it grew, and electronic voice phenomena is when you are able to record voices of people that are not physically present, at least not by anything that you can see or hear. From there, the field began to grow, even though it's still pretty small, and people began to work with pictures. One of the first ways was using a video feedback loop. A person would point a camera at a television, and they would feed the output of the camera back into the television. They would create a loop, and pictures would be received. Pictures have also been received on computers, on television, and a lot of other different ways over time. Now we're in 2021. We would like to share with you new ways and new technology where you don't need a TV. You just need a computer or a mobile phone, and we all have those. What is Perlin noise? Let me refer to my documentation. It's named after the gentleman that created it. His name was Ken Perlin. He developed an algorithm to create graphic textures, which could be used in video games and computers. Sort of like when you play a video game and you see clouds or textures or mountains or trees. In this case, he tried to recreate natural textures from randomness. He published and made his code freely available, meaning that anyone could take the technique and apply it for various means and methods. Now, where this ties in is community. So there were a couple of people, probably 5-6 years ago, that experimented with different various computer software programs that would generate random graphic visual noise. One of those was called S-Tiles, which we will show later, in another broadcast. One of them is called Controlling noise, which is not Perlin noise, but it's a different kind of technique to produce the same thing. and another one is Perlin noise. There's a gallery out there somewhere online. If anybody finds it, let me know. But it was about 6-7 years ago that someone first used a computer software program and took pictures of it and put them into a gallery, which they referred to as potential ITC, or paranormal photos. From there was a lot of discussion in the community between various people. Myself, Jeremy Michael Bloxam was a large contributor in attempting different types of techniques and researching and experimenting with new ways to be able to receive pictures. From there, there's a gentleman named Martin from extremesenses.com who took the idea of Perlin noise and made a piece of software. That software is freely available for download on our website, and we're going to show you today how to use it. That uses the Perlin noise algorithm. The story behind what you see at Varanormal.com when you experiment with Perlin noise, or if you view our live YouTube stream and it says Perlin noise, it's a very colorful, beautiful picture. The story behind that is we have a colleague in France. He was associated with and participated in a French organization called IFRES. I'm going to go ahead and show their website on screen so that you can see the type of work that they do, and you can begin to understand why he became convinced that photographic evidence was a particular method that he resonated with, and he thought that there was great potential. The pictures you're about to see are at the website. It's ifres.org. Let me share my screen. All right. These are samples of the work done by that French organization. These are not pictures in computer software, but we're just trying to show you the history of how the pictures came to be later on. I'm going to zoom in on this. These pictures were recorded in a special chamber. I don't know all the techniques, but I know that they use mist and fog, and they use a lot of different techniques to be able to receive pictures in nothing more than mist and light. The impression here is that people in spirit, check this one out. This is pretty good. I like this one right here. That people in spirit are able to work with us. That when we focus our intention upon communication and we're persistent in that desire, that thought, then we can help them manifest their pictures. This is done through our energy field. What you are seeing is merely pictures of mist in light. I recommend that everybody go visit their site. Chat moderator, please post the link to their site if you haven't yet. Let me check the chat, make sure we're still good. I recommend that you visit their site and check out their work. It is in French, so use Google Translator or something else to convert the site. If you look for pictures, you'll find them under the menu button, under TCI, which is the French abbreviation for Instrumental Transcommunication, and under Images, TCI, which is where we just were. Let this load. There's a lot of pictures. I'll scroll a little slower. So the site is, I'm afraid of pronouncing it wrong because it's French. I don't speak French, though I did take French classes. The site is ifres.org. An English speaker might say IFRES. It's I as in India, F as in Frank, R as in Romeo, E as in Echo, S as in Sam.org. They've been doing this for years. In fact, if you look here, we're back in 2011 already. take a moment to look at these. There's so many pictures. It's a wonderful site that we would like to get out there because this is pretty fantastic. You'll notice sometimes they'll receive shapes and letters, sometimes initials. It takes a lot of energy to be able to produce phenomena like this, and it's clear that that group working as a collective and cohesive team, uniting their efforts, their intention to be able to bring something like this through is quite important to this type of process. I'm going to post the link, the direct link in the chat. All right. It's almost too good to leave. These are fantastic. So these are pictures of instrumental transcommunication. It's a shame that you don't hear or see these on TV. That usually, you hear about ghosts and things like that, but there's not much focus upon the intent to communicate and the output thereof of the energy that we put in. Now we're going to go ahead and check out our own live stream. Up first, I need to finish the historical information. So our French colleague, Garrigue, took this algorithm and thought he would make a piece of software that would do the same thing. It would create pseudo-random numbers, and then the program would convert those numbers into a picture. He created this about 1.5 years ago, and I'm going to show you where on the site you can find that. So at varanormal.com, click on ITC station at the top. This is the separate site that our colleague built so that you can enjoy it. If you click on video, there are different parameters that you can select. You'll see one here that has my name on it because when I experimented with this program, I worked with it for a while and intuitively tuned the buttons, the dials, which you can do yourself. You may actually be able to find a better tuning than we can, and if you do, we hope that you share it with us. You'll notice there's an option here to load your own parameters. If we click on the parameters that I worked with, you'll see that there are different layers. It's kind of like a feedback loop, but instead of a two-dimensional image, a flat image, it generates noise and harmonics. Once you click on that, wait patiently, and then you'll see a nice, beautiful rainbow picture. What you're seeing right now is live. The important thing to note is that it's not streaming through the internet, as in you can open this site from any browser. It's a JavaScript program that will run on your local phone, your mobile device, etc. So it runs locally. It's not taking a feed from somewhere else and generating it for you. So you will have a different experience than I will on my phone. If anyone that goes and visits it, you will see it differently. I'm going to go ahead also and add our live Perlin noise stream because I'm hoping that, let's see, that doesn't work too well. Let's get something better. All right. What you're seeing right now is live Perlin noise. This is streaming live to our YouTube, and lately it's been 24/7. This is streaming from a stream computer. So all I did was I opened a browser, I clicked on Keith's settings, and that's what you see. So as you focus on these pictures, you will notice that there are two different sizes. The bottom one is a larger size, and this is because I needed to have two sizes, because if you're on a desktop and you make it full screen, you are zoomed in too far. So I had to make a smaller picture to change the aspect ratio so that our eyes are able to see a better proportion so that we're able to recognize the pictures. I'm going to go back first and demonstrate to you how to use the live stream at Varanormal.com at ITC station. The really cool thing that our colleague built in, check this out, I didn't even see this till today. He built in a way to where if you missed a picture while you're watching it live, you scroll down and you can download it. Not only that, when it generates the next picture, it moves it on down to the next frame, as you'll see it do here in just a second, meaning you have more than one chance to record the picture. Now notice the shape of this particular picture right here. When it generates the next picture, it's going to move down to this next frame. And guess what? You've got another chance, and another chance, and another chance. So this is the first picture. This is going to move down here. See now as we move down, the picture's now here. I could click download this picture and give it a second because your browser might have a little bit of a hard time because it's doing all the computing in the background. This is how you can directly go to Varanormal.com. You can take advantage of this technique that our colleague created specifically for you for free. You can use the website and you can save pictures. So pictures, Perlin noise. We do a lot of different types of pictures and experiments here at Varanormal. Usually when an experiment is first created, I'll test it and then I'll adjust it. And over time, I'll find a setting that works and then I'll leave it. I'll leave it 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, a week, a month. And I'll come back and I'll focus on it. Meaning I'm looking at the stream and I am focusing my intent upon it. My intent is to see a picture of someone in spirit. By someone in spirit, we essentially mean someone that is non-physical. The picture doesn't tell us who they are. It doesn't tell us where they are or when they are, but it can have a great impact on us. If you take the time to experiment with the settings, you can do all kinds of cool stuff. So we encourage you, if you want to see if you can create a better setting, by all means, please do so. If you would like to take pictures, we encourage you to do so. We would ask, if you love to take pictures and you take 100 pictures, try to pick the best 4 or 5. This concludes a demonstration of how to experiment with Perlin pictures using the ITC station created by our French colleague, Garrigue, on the Varanormal website. Let's go back for a minute and let's actually watch our live stream, because we know that the people in spirit are waiting. They came here tonight. So the one thing we would like to explain is that we are not just observers. We are not flicking a button and saying, are there any people here? We're starting the experiment. We have the intent to see them. They have the intent to show their faces, and they use our energy fields to apparently affect random or pseudo-random noise or energy, whether it be in software, radio, electronics, or anything else. To give a little more backstory while we are watching the cool live pictures on the stream, I'll be watching with you in case that helps. We also wonder if more people watching has the ability to help people in spirit generate a picture, because we are all focusing on the same thing. It's kind of like a collective meditation. To give a little bit more background, our colleague that was at the French organization IFRES, he created this software and he felt that images or photographs seemed to produce some of the better evidence, shall we say, for communication with non-physical personalities. It's a long term, but we don't really use the term ghosts around here because they're people just like us. It's commonly known from our history that there are people in spirit that work with us on these experiments. We can develop a relationship with them, just like a medium, just like a psychic. Actually, everybody's psychic to one degree or another. The only question is how much we developed it. There is a sort of element that appears to be related to mediumship and or psychic faculties. We don't yet have all the answers to explain to you how that works. All we know is we focus on something, it always produces a result. That's the kind of confidence you need to go into it with, along with lots and lots of patience. There's a photograph that was taken as I was preparing the stream earlier this afternoon. Let me go ahead and share that. Let's see what happens here. You'll see that the face was cut off in the bottom half. I adjusted the stream afterwards. This is one of the people in spirit showing their photograph, saying, "We are helping you prepare for the stream." I listened to a lot of audio from people in spirit, and they seem to feel that photos and audio, which can be described as basically spirit television, is something they have great interest in. So any of you that see this stream right now or that watch it later on YouTube or do your own experiments, we ask you to conduct your own experiments, take pictures, and then come share them at the forum. Moderators, please go ahead and share the link to today's experiment. Now, you can post the pictures in the forum just in a regular section, or you can post them in the link that we're going to give you, where we can basically follow up on my initial post and say, here are the photographs that we took tonight. Let's go ahead and minimize that. The next method I'm going to show is actually from your mobile phone. It's going to take me a minute to get it set up, so let me prepare that right now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you how I do this daily on my own and how you guys could do it using your mobile devices and from YouTube. And we're going to show you a pretty cool feature, which is YouTube DVR. You miss a picture? No problem. Double tap on the screen, take a photograph. All right, here we go. Going to turn actually I can't turn my video off. So essentially all I did was, you go to YouTube, you go to our YouTube channel, or you search for Varanormal. It's like paranormal, but with a V. At first, YouTube said, "We don't know what Varanormal is. Did you mean paranormal?" That's how new we are. Once you find the screen, in this case, I'm actually viewing a live stream. which is not exactly what I wanted. So we'll go ahead and we will play the video that was just recorded. That's not it. Well, I didn't think that part through. So we'll wait for it to catch up. The cool thing is if you double tap on the right hand side of the screen, it'll fast forward. On a lot of live streams, you can go all the way back. In this case, we can go back to the beginning of the stream. You could be on YouTube right now and you can go back to the beginning of the stream, which is pretty cool. If you don't want to see me, here's the cool photographs. So now I'm going to drag us all the way to the right. And it didn't work the way I wanted it to. The point is I wanted to show the demonstration of how you would do it. So I wanted you to know that there is a DVR feature of YouTube. You can fast forward, you can rewind, you can take a picture, and then you can share it on the forum with us. Oh, we got a cool feedback loop. That's pretty trippy. That's how you do it from a mobile phone. Also, the Varanormal site works on a mobile phone. It works very well. You go ahead and close this out. If you go to our forum, you can just click right here to create a topic. If you want to see any of the live streams, go to Streams. When you do that, you'll have a directory of all the streams that we provide, including one by Mr. Steve Holte here at the top. It's a ghost box that is streamed live, but it's reversed. I updated the stream descriptions yesterday. These change all the time, but just be aware that they are here for your enjoyment. Our YouTube stream is always video and audio. The remainder of the streams are audio only, and they work from mobile devices, which is kind of nice these days. So that concludes the portion of the cell phone. Let me get rid of that. Let's get out of there. Spectracom. I kind of skipped over that really fast. Let me show my screen. So, there's a piece of software out there called Spectracom. Spektrocom. It was written about 4.5 years ago by a gentleman named Martin. Another French name that I'm afraid I will mess up, so I won't say it. Martin B, I will call him. When you open the program, it's available for Windows only. There's a link on our website to download it. Martin offered it to Metascience Foundation about 2.5, 3 years ago to myself, Jeremy Bloxham, and Tim Woolworth, and he gave it to the community. He implemented ideas on the left, which are audio, which were heavily influenced by Ron Reese, one of our founders of iDigital Medium. It takes a audio file, and there are different effects that you can use to mix it, which does seem to work relatively okay, or at least it touches upon basic principles that today we know will provide fruit in the future. On the right, we have Perlin Noise. So Martin created this piece of software, and it's available for everybody to use. So there's a button here that says Generate Full Screen. I don't use that typically, and if we go ahead and press click here to start, you'll hear the audio. Actually, I turn the audio off, and you can see what's on the screen. I'm going to show you how to use this. It's really, really easy. On the iterations button, drag it all the way to the right. When you see this little line around it, go back one click. The contrast button, drag it all the way to the left and go 5 clicks to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. That's all you need to experiment with Spectracom. Again, it's only available for Windows. There are tips and tricks where I can show you how to bring out the contrast using OBS, Open Broadcaster Studio. And this was streaming live on our website also on YouTube for at least 6 to 7 months. And we found that the longer we experimented with it, the better the pictures began to be. So these are all different methods, but what's very interesting is that what we're saying is that we as humans, as energetic bodies, have the ability, when combined with intent, to communicate with people in spirit or non-physical people using software, electronics, and other types of techniques. This one's a little bit harder. If you experiment with it, take your time, focus. I see a face right here on the bottom left. And you can play around with the settings, but it's pretty basic and that's kind of good. You can also go full screen if you choose to do so. Now we're going to go ahead and switch back to the cool pictures and we're going to answer questions. We're 32 minutes into the hour. This broadcast will be shorter than most. Let's go ahead and give ourselves 10 minutes to answer questions. And we're also going to show the live video because that's the stream that's running all the time and that's what we are focusing on. Switching back to our live stream. Okay, chat moderator, do we have any questions? While I'm waiting, there are other websites if you are interested in learning more about instrumental transcommunication. The original website that we refer to is worlditc.org. Now you're going to go there and you're going to say this website's from back in the day. Well, that's because it is. It's created by a gentleman named Mark Macy, as well as another gentleman in Germany named Rolf Erhardt. If you'd like to know more about electronic voice phenomena, which most of you have heard of or you've seen in ghost shows, that's been around officially. I mean, people recorded it before then, but the boom started, or the discovery of it was acknowledged in 1953, and then it grew gradually. An organization was created called the American Association of Electronic Voice Phenomena, which again is recording voices of people, non-physical personalities, in sound. When the movie White Noise came out, which was a horror flick, I think almost everybody has seen that. It created a very large influx of people into that community. A lot of those people from that day, including myself, have gone on and we're still in touch. It's a pretty small community, but our job here, as we see it, is to introduce this to the world, to the paranormal community, so that we can expand upon these techniques. We can expand upon the energy and demonstrate that we are not just observers, you're creators. You co-create these pictures, and we ask you to try to go ahead and do so. And we've just given you 2 different ways to do it on your own, wherever you are. Maybe before you go to sleep at night, maybe when you're bored sitting, waiting for a bus, anytime. Okay, questions. Let me scroll in the chat really quick. If you guys want to do group experiments, that's probably not a bad idea either. We would say that anybody that works together with intention has the ability to magnify that energy exponentially. This is why they hold physical mediumship seances and circles still to this day. It's important to note that the author of the Perlin noise that you can find at the Varanormal site under ITC station, he is very well aware of the nature of mediumship, which I would describe in generic terms as subtle energy, but that's actually just my subtle way of saying mediumship, people communicating with non-physical personalities. So these broadcasts that we have, technically we consider them circles. We consider them public energy experiments. That will be all for this evening. Thank you for joining us. We're going to stop this broadcast in a moment, and then I'm going to recreate the stream so that we can have it ongoing. This is so that we have a recording for YouTube and Facebook. And feel free to experiment with it at will. We ask you to come to the Varanormal site, varanormal.com. Please follow us on TikTok. We want to live stream, and we have some pretty cool ideas, and we ask for your help. If you're on there, give us a follow. YouTube channel, we would also like to grow that, and we will get better at this over time. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Varanormal. We'll also be expanding to all the other social media sites over time. This concludes this evening's broadcast on Perlin, noise, and paranormal experiments, how you can do them yourself and how you can do it for free to understand the subtle energies and the nature of communication between people and other people, not in this physical dimension as we see it. Remember, if you think there's more to paranormal than meets the eye, come visit your friends at Varanormal, where paranormal is normal. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.